on the touchback. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And this is Cook to the ground. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all offseason about our season opener opponent, and they had a receiver.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Shaquille Barrett in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. They'll set up a throw. That's out to his running back, Michelle. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans.
That's good for the Saints. First down. 65. First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And they finally put it into this return, but not before he's all the way down to the 37. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw. Because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Ito Smith, his first carry. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. 23 yards the pickup there. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws that quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. Takes 2 to tango. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
On 2nd and 11 now. Allen. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And it's caught. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones, his 11th touchdown of the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point up and good by Crosby, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 to score as they start 1st and 10. Flushed out right. That'll be complete to Cook. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with Sony Michel. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Set, ready. 54 miles. Come on, come on.
Oh, design run for their wideout. I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there, as that one is going to blow up in their faces. 3rd down just got a lot tougher. That will officially go as a loss of 7. Tough spot here. 3rd and 18 following back-to-back running plays that went in the wrong direction. They'll drop the throw. Airing it out deep for Smith. And that is incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Here we go.
To the air, Allen. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Here's Allen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
And he goes out right around the 39. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. They'll run with a former Tar Heel, T.J. Logan. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Give him a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up 3rd down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. They'll try and run this with Austin. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Falcons will be taking over first and 10. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. On play action, Allen. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. An incomplete pass on second down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is third and 10. On play action, Allen hit. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they're going to take possession of the football inside the 15 at the 14-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes if they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback. They've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
A solid pickup of 13 sets them up first and goal.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
And they will run it with Michel. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal.
Check 31.
On second down, Michel. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
So it's third and goal, and now the question, can this Falcon defense stand tall once more? They'll try to run it in. Michel. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third. Let's think here. You're still just in the second quarter. You taking the 3 points?
I am taking the 3 points, and I'm just relying on my defense here. Show me I have a little confidence in them, and letting the offense know, nice drive. Come back next time. We'll go get 6 then. But for now, we'll take the 3.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. So in Saints territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Hey, box truck.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
To throw again on second down. Allen. Wide open receiver complete.
Ready? 15.
From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. Again, they'll throw with Allen. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. The free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle.
Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Steps away to his left. He may try and run for this. A good decision in the end to pull it and run. Gets him 9 yards and a first. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter.
Ready. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. And let's pin the mirrors back up.
On 1st down, Logan.
Let's go. Let's do it.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Back to throw here. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Let's go now.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Dancing to his left. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a 1st down. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. From the gun, it's Allen. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred.
Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1.
3rd and 13.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field.
Mike 5. Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. Looking deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. And that goes as a gain of 37 on 3rd down. But one thing's for sure, they're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change your timing, change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back. Just change up the looks that he sees and make him just a little bit more hesitant.
This quarterback now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. And he's not able to get away, sacked back at the 22. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. They come up on second and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Allen letting one go deep for the end. And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off.
The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 47.
His guys take over first and 10 at their own 47-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field, you take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have them a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn it into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. He hits his target. Left side, Watson. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A really nice gain of 25 yards. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Allen going to throw. Being chased out left. Now he'll pull it down. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
To throw again on 2nd down. Allen, and that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Ito Smith, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Falcons push further out in front. Crosby connects on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Shaquille Barrett has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. A rookie QB struggling, gets thrown down to the ground there. But, you know, maybe this game, it's not over yet, but maybe this game can be a learning experience for him.
So many different things that he has to pick up on. When to go ahead and flush from the pocket and run. When to get rid of the football and not take the sack. When to just go ahead and go down early and make sure you don't fumble the football.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Shaquille Barrett in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Back to throw. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Frank Clark racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness that defensive line is eating them alive.
12 yards on the return that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now 2nd and 6 at the 50-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Hey, tight end's right. Hey, Alpha. 4 down. Mike 5. Watch the run. Mike 5. Now watch run. Mike 5. I'm here all day. Go.
From midfield, here's Allen. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
54, right there.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Partner, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with, some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. They're going to look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see, do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Now on 2nd and 13, Allen. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
To throw, it's Allen. It's caught. Jones. 15 yards, first down, Atlanta. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. A give to Smith out of the gun. And takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
At the 36-yard line.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
60 Pittsburgh. Topper. Snap.
Allen off the play fake. Throw left side complete. That's Watson. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here. Down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Now Allen. And an alley to run. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Now Allen. He completes this to Russell Gage. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 18. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Well, no doubt here in the fourth quarter, this is a huge defensive series.
Hey, they can read the scoreboard. They realize if they give up a field goal here, this game might be out of reach. They understand the stakes and are playing accordingly.
A second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Love his pocket awareness, able to slip out of the sack. But once you take your eyes off the receivers, once your eyes come down and you see the rush, hard to get back downfield and find an open target. Fortunate, that one just wound up as an incomplete pass.
Here's Allen to throw it. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the fourth.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. Looking to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by DeMonte Casey. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
17 yards and a first down for Atlanta.
15
On first down, Allen. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. It's the linebacker, Alex Anzalone. He's at the 30. And he will not get all the way home, but he will take this back down to about the 2-yard line. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now...
And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Sony Michel, touchdown number 15 of the year, as his guys are back within a single score. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards, as he'll get this only back to the 20. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, one-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping to you on the other side of the ball, saying, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. Because if there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
Looking to throw on second down. Allen, he sets to fire deep. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirt.
He better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
He's back to throw. And an alley to run. Opted to run for it. The decision, a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. So there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the fourth quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. On the carry, it's Logan. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
Brings up 3rd and 3.
Here we go. 6 yards. I'm coming to you, son. We got double up. Check.
They run again with Logan. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal.
Some good strong running right there, some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. Trying to pound it in here with Michelle. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down 1. That extra point is not a gimme.
A very important extra point there, up and good. 17-17 the score. All even to this point as it kicks away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range, not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Allen looking downfield for Jones. And this is going to be intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
The Saints convert 1st and 10 at their own 43-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They can still get into field goal range, partner. They got to work quickly, though.
I agree with you totally. Find a way to get the ball downfield and out of bounds. In a perfect world, they know what hash they want to get to for their kicker, and they already know the distance that he feels comfortable. That'll dictate what they do on offense.
See if they can get in his range.
Second and 4 at their 49-yard line.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Let's go, D.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Michel. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game.
It's 3rd and 1.
A field goal from this spot likely out of the question. They've got to get closer here on 3rd down.
54.
He'll drop to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And we've got free football. 4 quarters done, and we're dead even. We'll have overtime after this timeout. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into his windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw, so maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Right there, 54.
Now a first throw here in overtime. He'll let it fly for Austin. And that time almost intercepted. That would have changed things here in overtime, but instead 2nd down. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Coming up on a 3rd and 9. Opening drive of overtime as they look to convert. Now back to throw. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. Here's Thomas Morstead now. On for a very important punt here in overtime.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
At their own 20-yard line.
Ready to break.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. Their defense did its job. Got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part one is done, now part two. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. On the run, it's Smith. And he'll take this from 147-yard line to the other, a gain of 6. They've had some success here in overtime on this opening drive running the football. Right back to that well.
And why not? When you have that kind of success, make them stop you, and until they do, keep going back to that well you just spoke about. I think there's more water there and available to them.
2 minutes left in this overtime session, and still all tied. What can Allen do now with his drive? And Graham's got it, complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Now Ito Smith. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down. Again, it's Davis. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. And that carry probably not so much for yardage, just to get the spot that you want to kick the field goal.
In any yardage game, there's really kind of gravy, and this just becomes what my old coach used to say. Get into position to be in position. And that's what they want, the right spot for their kicker to line up the field goal.
And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. We thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance that field goes from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.
Not only that, think about your snapper, your holder. A lot of nerves for them, too, because they have to do their job in order to give him one last chance to put a foot to it.
So for Atlanta, a win will come too late to save a losing season, but they do move to 6-9 on the year. And another road date awaits them next week, as their opponents will be the Los Angeles Chargers. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, it's a bad time of year to take a loss like this, as they drop to 10-5. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home